Welcome to Oscar Sunday. I'm Austin Johnson,
I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
and today we're going to be talking about Viva Zapata from 1952, a controversial film these days, when you get into the casting and whatnot, but decent flick. It was up for five nominations, five Oscars at the 25th Academy Awards. We've been to this ceremony before, long time ago, when we did High Noon, one of my favorite 50s movies, one of Connor's favorite 50s movies. It just fucking rules. We're not going to be having a big praise session here. Viva Zapata has its issues, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to bring them up. Um, for me, I'd give this movie a 6 out of 10. I think it's okay. It's probably not something I'm going to watch again. It's also not on streaming right now. You have to rent it on Amazon Prime or Vudu, whatever it may be. So that's what Connor and I did. What's your general thoughts on the film?
I liked it way more than I thought I was going to. I mean, I'm
That's fair.
currently working on a thesis about representation of Hispanic actors and filmmakers in Hollywood in the 20th
Mm,
century, and there's a lot more bad examples than there are good examples. And Viva Zapata is very much a bad example. When you cast Marlon Brando, might as well be called Marlon Gringo, a like as a Mexican revolutionary hero, and they
yeah,
just lather him in brown paint, give him a mustache and a sombrero, and say, "Here's our Mexican folk hero." It's like, no, especially when you got Anthony Quinn, an actual Mexican American actor, right here.
yeah, literally right there, acting his ass off. Yeah,
Yeah, who wanted this role so bad and lost it in a piss contest with Marlon Brando. I mean, a literal pissing contest,
yeah,
which is just no reading his autobiography that made perfect sense. Anthony Quinn was out of his goddamn mind, but we'll get to that.
yeah. We will definitely want to talk about Mr. Quinn. He's a fascinating guy. He won for best supporting actor for this movie. Um, he's one of the better supporting performers that we've ever had. Fascinating life and had his demons. And I know you got to read a book about him recently, and you're like you mentioned your thesis is this is kind of at the center of it. This is like a prime example of a, like you said, a bad example.
Yeah.
um, you can like Brando, you can dig his stuff, you can appreciate him as a performer, but it just so happens that this big time Oscar nominated role for him as Emiliano, yeah, I mean it's brown face, it's a fake mustache, it's a big giant sombrero the whole time. He speaks in Spanish like every like 20th word, and then the other 19 words are all English. Um, this is the time, it's the 50s. They were so politically just out of it, at this time, especially in Hollywood. So I don't really blame Brando. You know what I mean? It's not really like his fault or something. It's just unfortunate. This is part of his run. He was nominated 4 years in a row, right? So like this is in the middle of it, and I think it is important to bring up because of that huge thing. Like Anthony Quinn is right there, a guy that obviously could play the role. He's playing his brother. So like I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to have that decision, to have that call. It'd be like right now if Leonardo DiCaprio played Zapata. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like the same thing. That's just wild to think about.
Craziest thing is in the book that I read, his Anthony Quinn's parents actually did fight in this war. Like
Wow.
they were revolutionaries who fought for
Gosh.
Mexico's freedom. So he not only had he had real investment in this, and I'm sure he got told, you're not white enough for the lead performance. I'm sure he got told that a lot,
Hmm.
and now he's not the only one. And yeah, it is, it's not Brando's fault, but again, he did take the role,
Yeah, he signed the contract. Yeah.
but I don't think it was out of spite or anything. He just saw, it was work. Like,
Yeah, and it's a chance to work with the director that he knows, from
yeah,
Streetcar Named Desire and On the Waterfront. These movies, obviously, On the Waterfront's after, but this is a guy he's worked with prior and is going to work with after. They clearly have a partnership that works.
well, it's hard to kind of really, throw the blame around here. I mean, I guess, I guess the production companies are probably where you can start with, making those kinds of rules. And I've still got a lot more research to do, but I don't want this stuff to be swept under the rug. I don't want this to be, excused as like, oh no, it was 1952. We don't say that for films that have blackface in them.
Yeah,
So, to
yeah,
me, this is just as bad.
I
And
agree.
I'm glad that we're using this as kind of a way to just kind of, talk through a film like this that I don't think we should necessarily like abandon,
Mm,
but definitely needs to be, you know, has an asterisk next to the name. Like this, you need to know some things before you watch a film like this.
yeah, 100%. That's really well put. Abandoning a piece of art because of decisions that aren't really connected to us
Yeah.
it's like, well, you can still watch the damn thing, and gain that knowledge for yourself, get your own perspective. And I know that's what you and I are like all about, whether it be negative or positive. It's all about getting that perspective for your own brain, for your own mind, and then you can, form your own thoughts. So we are gonna be going into it. We'll go into, Brando, Quinn, John Steinbeck wrote, right? This is a screenplay by the legendary writer, um, Alex North, great composer. Joseph McDonald, awesome cinematographer. So we'll talk about those guys in a little bit, and we'll give some awards out to the film Viva Zapata, and then we'll briefly look at the 25th Academy Awards at the end of the episode. But I know we both checked out some stuff, some random shit the past few days. So I want to hear like what movies you've been getting into. I know we both watched Hocus Pocus 2. I watched a couple other 1952 movies for the fuck of it, but what else have you been watching?
Well, I haven't gotten to watch a lot, and honestly, I could lie and say it's school related, but really, I've been in a just endless typhoon of that '70s show and Kingdom Hearts, so I couldn't be bothered with much else. Uh,
So
that's just,
awesome.
yeah, I'm almost done with both, and then I will go back to what my life used to be. Um, but I did rewatch Hellraiser, the first one, to prep
Mm.
for Filmgasm next week, and that's always an interesting watch.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite '80s horror movies for sure.
Yeah, just a vicious time, always so unforgiving. It really is just, hell itself come to life. I One of my favorite bits in the TV show Supernatural was one of the characters went to hell and they were talking to a demon about it. Like a demon was saying about, no movies ever gotten hell right except Hellraiser. They got pretty close.
Yeah,
I always thought
yeah.
that was funny. He's like, yeah, I thought the same. Like that's hell right there. But that was fun. And then I did watch Hocus Pocus 2. Um, I'm a lifelong fan of the first movie. I went into
uh,
this with pretty low expectations. And like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it.
oh God.
I knew, yep.
Uh, I, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Because yeah, it's just not for me.
Well, all right. So tell me this. When did you first see the first film?
Maybe when I was like 9, 10,
Oh,
maybe 8, 9, 10. I don't know. I like the first one. I think it's fine.
okay. Well, then my argument just got completely torpedoed. So I digress.
if you don't see the 1993 one, if you don't see it at a young age and you see it when you're like 25, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is the big deal here? Like, you have to have that little kid's perspective that, like, it's a lot of those movies are like that. I love the three sisters in both movies. I think they're great, but the kids in Hocus Pocus 2 were just flat out bad. Like I was like, they were taking me out of it. It felt like Disney Channel original movie, like acting quality from the kids. Like the like douchey like football player kid. Like, why did we need him at all? Like, he was terrible. So there's just those things that are like, why is this here? But there's some cute moments, right? I thought Sam Richardson was good as Gilbert. I thought he was funny. Uh, but yeah, like half the actors were just like, oh boy, you're out of your element here.
I loved Tony Hale. I thought he was
He was
hilarious.
funny.
I've always liked him. And I appreciated that it wasn't just a rehash because that's what I was expecting. Was it to just be the same beats as the first movie with a new coat of paint? But it wasn't. It went into the backstory of the sisters. We got a little bit more of of a some character development with them. There was a new vibe, a new story, a new plan.
Mm.
I like that new songs. Like I love their take on the bitches back in one way or another. I'm a sucker for this idea. I don't know what it is, but this like Halloween Town Disney vibe I've always loved. And
Okay, yeah, Halloween Town's a great example of just like it. I don't know. It just is like it looks like an arts and crafts crew like threw it all together, and it's not like a proper production. And that's fine. That's nothing wrong with that.
I love that this is like the closest to an argument we've ever had. Like this is it. But
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I think it's a decent flick. I'll probably add it to my yearly watch. If I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus, I might as well watch Hocus Pocus too. I
Okay.
was impressed. I liked it. And just as a side note, Caleb really enjoyed the Munsters. So
Really, he went ahead and watched it.
he did, and he
Yeah.
liked it. He liked it. So this was just like not your weekend, man.
I didn't. I'm not. I won't ever watch the Monsters. I don't think. I don't think
I
I'll
just
ever.
love that everything that came out is like so not you.
Yeah. 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 Which is why I just like literally got home and started recording with you after seeing Barbarian. I finally got to see that, and that was up my alley. you know, that was kind of my shit. But so you've been watching that '70s show, like you've been just going through that like a grind. You watched Hocus Pocus 2, Hellraiser.
Um,
Anything else?
I did what? All right, yeah. I usually let's just spotlight like first time watches here, but there's some like Octobery stuff. Like I rang in the year.
Yeah.
I rang in October with Sweeney Todd.
There you go. Hell
Which
yeah. I haven't seen that in a while.
I know, me too. It's like it felt right.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Always reminds me of my freshman year of college, where the theater kids in my dorm would just not stop singing those fucking songs.
Twas Pirelli's Miracle Elixir.
It was the worst pies in London that I heard the most. It was this one
Yeah.
girl. I remember her because I wanted to fucking strangle her.
These are probably the worst pies. Yeah.
I have like
I love that
flashbacks
movie.
when I hear that fucking song.
My favorite is I hear you, Joanna. That's a fun one.
It's a creepy one. It's a good movie. I miss Johnny Depp's leading man status. I hope we get to have that back. And then I also watched on a whim because I love this movie and I don't care what any of you all think. I get so much shit for this. Van Helsing, 2004.
I like Van Helsing too. Yeah. That's fun. It's just fun.
Caleb and Josh have given me so much shit for that movie. I don't care. It's fun.
Okay. I don't care. They probably will never listen to this. Even if they did, I don't care. Josh and Caleb, love you guys, but you have no fucking business telling someone that what they watch is silly. When you like, what's that movie? Spookies. I like looked into that movie and I was like, this looks like fucking hot garbage,
Oh,
So it's like, hey, if it's okay for you to like your shit, let Connor like his shit. You know what I mean?
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
buddy, you just started a civil war. Oh, god damn it.
Good. Because you let me like my dumb shit, right, Connor? I
All
let
the
you
time.
like I let you like your dumb shit, and most of the time I don't think it's dumb. We get along with a lot of stuff, but like Hocus Pocus 2, I'm not here stabbing you in the heart because you like Hocus Pocus 2. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's just not for me.
I could go after you for Godard all day, and God knows I want to, but I don't.
Yeah, and go ahead because I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care if someone doesn't get along with or like doesn't connect. That's part of the cool part when you do find someone who connects with you is like we can have this. It's okay if other people don't like it. That's like the point of art.
It had honestly never occurred to me that Oscar Sunday is our safe space to just bitch them out because they're never going to listen to this.
Yeah, well, it's this, it's and I don't care. I love both of them, and they've both recommended really great stuff to me, but they have no business like acting like they're holier than thou when it comes to horror taste or whatever it is.
I'm glad somebody finally said it, but yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I can. The shit I've watched, in their apartment, just like straight faced, like, are you serious? And then it's this weird protective thing. I get it. If you love it, you want to show people, and if they don't like it, you're going to be there's going to be some pushback. I get that.
Yeah, it's Van Helsing. Like, get over it. It's fine. Like,
I love that movie to death, and y'all go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I think Van Helsing's a fun watch. It's not fucking Godfather, but it's fun.
Oh, this probably won't get back to them, but it'd be hilarious if it does. And this, yeah,
You should fucking send them a link straight to them and be like, go to minute 10, listen to Austin. I don't care. I really don't. I love both of them, you know. And congrats to Josh's Arsenal. They had a huge fucking win today. You know, I was watching them and I was thinking of Josh the whole time. I still don't like spookies, you know.
you didn't have to fucking watch that train wreck. I did.
I went on YouTube and I was like, I can't. I simply can't. Like, I was like, I'll try because I heard you talk about it, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And then I was like, oh, it's that bad.
There is a
You know,
whole part of film that I have tried very hard to hide from you because I know it is not your taste at all, and it might
yeah.
discourage you from watching certain things. I don't want to take that away from you. So
You know me. I very rarely, and like some people that I know, like some of my friends, they'll be like, "Oh, you're just a snob." Like I'm not. I'm not. If you like really know me, but I stay away from stuff. I really do because I take my time very seriously because I have a child, and I don't get to just sit in front of the TV like I want to all goddamn day. So I'm like, all right, when it's nighttime, I'm gonna watch something I want to watch and that I know not know, but I have high expectations for. You know what I mean? That's a better use for my time personally.
there's nothing wrong with having standards. And
Yeah,
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 the more, the more we do this, the more films we pile up, the more I have started to kind of adopt my own standard to stay away from certain things that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like. Because, now I don't have a kid, but I do have this giant ass paper I have to write.
yeah. And you have a lot of stuff you want to watch, so it's
Yeah.
like if I want to watch this, I should probably stay away from that. You know, it's just part of the game.
Yeah. So
It's great. This is great.
this turned into a roast real fast.
Yeah. So that came out of Van Helsing, Sweeney Todd, then Van Helsing. So that's awesome. You've kicked off your October just right.
Yes, I have. Oh man. Goddamn. Outside of Barbarian, what have you checked out?
Yeah, Barbarian was great. Probably one of my like actually it probably is my favorite horror movie of the 2020s already, like of the past like 3 years, right? Off the top of my head, like I was really into Malignant. Um, and then there's like a bunch of movies that I thought were good but not great. Like, you know, I'd give them sevens or eights. This one is like a pure nine for sure. Like, I definitely want to buy it. I want to rewatch it. I would love to, I would love to just kind of like study it. I thought it was just a masterclass in tone changing and little tricks with the camera that were great, even if they were kind of like stealing from other movies. I don't care. Like that's a big part of what movies is. I love the first person stuff we got like with Justin Long, his character. I loved the villains that we had. They were like truly frightening. I thought Richard Brake was like putting in like one of the better horror performances I've seen in a long time. Yeah, I fucking loved it, and one of my favorite things about it is that the trailer did its job.
Yeah.
Like I try to stay away from trailers because none of them are as good as the Barbarian trailer. You know, like it's very hard to make a trailer that good for a horror movie where you're not giving away massive stuff. You're just really they only give away stuff that's going to happen like in the first, like quarter of the movie. And so I love that. I love that they leave like a huge chunk of the movie up to like you have to see it, and I love that. I think horror movies should do that more often. I think movies in general should do that more often, but specifically horror because you want that bite. You want it to really really sting you when it happens in the theater or at home, whatever it is. So yeah, it got me like excited. I was like, fuck yeah, like horror can still do this. It can still have like this word of mouth thing because I've been very aware of it. I wanted to see it like a couple weeks ago, I guess, when it came out, but just hadn't had time. So I finally got to go see it with my wife. We both loved it. We walked out like that was fucking awesome. It made me laugh sometimes. It made me like truly like kind of squirm in my seat a couple times. Like I was like, whoa, man, like this is freaky. So it was awesome. Hocus Pocus 2, of course. Then I watched a couple 1952 movies. One, Come Back Little Sheba. Just kind of a random one that has some Oscar love, but I mostly watched it because Burt Lancaster is the lead, and Burt's like one of my favorite 50s 60s guys. He's fucking lights out in that movie. He plays a alcoholic, recovering alcoholic who, you're waiting the whole movie like, when is he gonna slip up? And when he does, he fucking explodes, and it's like, ah! It's like a volcano erupting because you're waiting. You're like, if you know Burt, you're like, he's being really subtle at the beginning of the movie, the first, whatever, 45 minutes, and then out of nowhere he starts to just fucking, you're like, there's Burt Lancaster, the guy that we love. So yeah, that was a cool movie. That one's on Criterion. And then I watched Akira Kurosawa's Ikaru, which was like mind-blowing, like mind-blowingly good. I had obviously heard of it. It's one of his most acclaimed movies. I've always been intimidated by the 2.5 hour runtime, and just kind of like, like I want a reason to watch this. And so I was like looking up the top rated 1952 movies, and it was way up there. And I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I love Kurosawa, so it's fucking fantastic. I was, looking at it, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna watch this. And then I watched Bill Hader shows it for one of his like adventures in movie going, and Bill Hader is an absolute cinephile. He's a freak of nature when it comes to movies and his knowledge. And he's talking about how this is his favorite Kurosawa film, and was breaking down his favorite scenes from the movie. And I was okay, I gotta watch this. Like he sold me. So it's great. You would love it, Connor. Like it is Kurosawa. Maybe it might be my favorite of his movies already. Like it's got such a cool story, so relatable. Really, really doing that thing that filmmakers do, where they just like start cutting like to the heart of their audience, and like speaking to you directly, like no bullshit, just speaking to you, like straight up man to man. And you're like, oh my god, it's awesome. And then the last one I watched was Boogie Nights. That's the last movie I'll talk about before we move on. Obviously, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's arguably Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie. It's definitely his most entertaining movie. It's definitely the most coke induced movie, right? And my one of my favorite podcasts called The Rewatchables. Very much people that I look up to run that show, and I've always wanted to like do things the way they do it, because it's all about passion, all about love for movies and music and sports and whatnot. I've always looked up to them, right? And they did a 4 hour, two-part podcast on Boogie Nights, because the guy who runs the podcast, Bill Simmons, and he owns The Ringer, the website. It was his birthday, and he was like, "This is my favorite movie of the past 25 years." So we're going to talk about Boogie Nights for as long as I fucking want to. And so him and two other guys, they talk about it for 4 hours, man. And of course I listen to every goddamn minute of these guys talking about porn, talking about Burt Reynolds punching the shit out of Paul Thomas Anderson on set, and talking about how Mark Wahlberg, like this is his best role ever. There's like no no arguments. It was just great. I had a blast, and so I was like, I'll watch this movie for the fucking 36th time, and stay up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. watching again one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the movies that I watched and I was like, yeah, I want to chase that. Like I want to keep watching things until I get that feeling again. When you're at Rahad Jackson's house, Alfred Molina, at the end of that movie, like I want that over and over. I want that high, like just straight up injected into me, and that's Boogie Nights. So always love watching Paul Thomas Anderson's work, and I had a reason to listen to these other guys talk about it. So it was awesome. That's on Netflix. Good shit. But of course, Viva Zapata, man. Like I said, we rented this, and I think we both were surprised that we didn't like hate it or anything. There's not like a hate towards the movie. There's just those surrounding conversations about the casting, and it's not just some guy. It's Marlon Brando. It's like maybe the greatest actor of all time at the center of this decision making.
True. I think what helps, honestly, is having done quite a few Beyond the Bads now. I know this was not Marlon Brando's worst decision.
Mm. Yes, yes.
It was a
I
bad
forgot y'all.
one.
I forgot y'all did that.
Yeah, I've sat through the island of Dr. Moreau. I know what Brando's
Yeah,
capable of when he doesn't give a shit. But
yeah.
this was just, a bad idea that nobody really saw as a bad idea in 1952 because it was 1952. And
Mm.
bad decisions when it came to race were just par for the course until people started actually, fighting back. And yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought I was entertained. I thought, Anthony Quinn kept me, he kept shit real. He
Mm.
always did that. Anthony Quinn, his demons and his life and the shit he saw always influenced his performances and kept shit realistic. And
Mm.
I was always impressed with that. We saw that when we did La Strada. He's just, he's a
Oh,
rock star.
yeah. He is lights out in that movie. Just that movie does a really good job of showing, obviously like his stature and like the space that he consumes as a performer. So I that's trickled into like Guns of Never Rome. We watched that. He was by far my favorite actor in that movie, and in this, he's astonishing. I love I love his voice is so awesome. Like I'll be bringing him up in my awards the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I wish that him and Brando had worked together under better circumstances because that is a match made in heaven that I feel like we didn't really get to see in the right way.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Damn shame.
Sad. Yeah, sad stuff, man. It sucks that that's like the way the cookie crumbled back then, because Marlon Brando too. Like I think people forget just how like fast his shit came.
Yeah.
Like it was like he was in a show and then he was in Streetcar Named Desire. Like he just jumped like right in. Like Viva Zapata is like his third or fourth movie like ever. And so like the guy just immediately became like the GOAT so fast. His ride is so much different than Anthony Quinn. So much different.
Yeah. We've talked about quite a few of them. Starts with Streetcar, then Viva Zapata, then it's Julius Caesar, which we
Yep.
did on a showdown.
From
I
Here
think
to
it,
Eternity.
Here to
Yeah.
Eternity, yeah. And then right into On the Waterfront, wins his first Oscar. Now he's on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Within 4 years. That's unreal.
Yeah. It's uncanny. It's uncanny what he was able to do at that time. Obviously, when you take the decade of the 50s, he's the most decorated, as far as nominations go, he's the most decorated guy. And it just continued. And he gives, 30 years later in Apocalypse Now, like, he's like, I still fucking got it. You know what I mean? And even if I don't care about any of you.
I firmly believe no living actor today could show up to a big budget war movie 30 pounds overweight, having not read the script, and just says, I'm going to wing it in the shadows. No way in hell he pulls that off. But Brando did it.
Yeah. That's like one of his things. Like, it's like when you're talking about, because of course art is all up to the person's opinion and perspective. But like when you're trying to compare guys, you're comparing a Marlon Brando to a Daniel Day-Lewis or whatever, it is. It's like, well, Brando just breathed it. Like it wasn't, he didn't have to, it seemed like he didn't even have to fucking try. Like it was just in him. And Daniel Day-Lewis was like, I'm going to work hard for this. I'm going to like dedicate everything when I'm doing a movie. My life is that movie. It's like, it depends which one you prefer. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what really amazes me about Brando is the fact that he really didn't care. It was
Yeah.
it was just what he did. Like his performances were so genuine and powerful, even when he didn't fucking read the script. The Godfather, he was getting his lines fed to him. He had cue cards written on Robert Duvall, and yet he gives one of the most iconic gangster performances of all time, maybe the definitive one of his career. And I mean, what the hell? That kind of talent is remarkably rare. It's once in a lifetime when you just ooze charisma like that, where you don't have to try on any level and you're the most talented guy in the room. Nobody today has that.
And I don't think so. Like, I don't think we have this breed is gone. Like this, it just doesn't exist anymore. Like, I hate to be that guy, even though we're in our 20s, but like we've seen enough stuff from all these decades. There is, like the Sterling Haydens and the Burt Lancasters and the Brandos, like the gravitas, like the masculine, just like fuck you thing that they have going on.
Yeah.
It's just like it like just is so few and far between nowadays.
To quote Tony Soprano, whatever happened to the strong silent type?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that's now it's like now it's like fucking got it. They have to be like funny. Like it's like Chris Pratt and like Chris Hemsworth, and they're like like throwing jokes around every 5 seconds. It's like, well, what? Yeah, what happened to that? Just like fucking cool thing.
Well, I've in all the research I've done and like read about these guys from their own words, like a lot of it's just pent up trauma that they weren't allowed to voice because it would have, their masculinity would have been called into question. And you can't have that as, pre, free love guys. And these guys, that was their bread and butter. This was their careers. They had to bottle that shit up and they turned that into performance. And we don't have that anymore because now men are allowed to cry.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is a good
this is not a good situation, but it led to so much iconic work. And that's really fucked up. But I think that's what's doing this.
You know who has it? Josh Brolin. He's got it. He's got that like, yeah, fuck you, like I don't fucking care. He's got that kind of just chip on his shoulder type thing.
True, but he can also go on Hot Ones and talk about his life while he's eating hot wings. Like I don't see like Burt Lancaster doing that shit.
No. Yeah, that's like you're an actor. So like Josh Brolin is like, I can go there, but that is not me. Like everything I've like John Bernthal, like the dude seems like a A1 guy. Yeah. Like he seems like the coolest dude. His podcast fucking rules. He's like really trying to help human beings. But when he's on the screen, like as the Punisher, you're like, that guy's got that quality. He's got that old school quality.
That's true. That's a good point. It is, these days, it's so hard to separate actor from performance because of the spotlight and because of all the, the shit like the hot ones and, podcasts and all that. We are so connected to that side of celebrity that we don't see the mystery anymore. Like Burt Lancaster was just, you only saw him at the pictures. You didn't see him doing, Carson and shit. Like that was just the only time you connected with these guys. So I wish we kind of had a little bit of that back.
Yeah. I think about that a lot. I think about the, like if Marlon Brando had a Twitter, like it's just, God. You know what I mean? It's like, probably wouldn't be a good thing, like, what if Michael Jordan had a Twitter? Like you could even go back just to the 90s, like pre like social media and pre internet all over the place, all in the palm of our hand. The access we have is like I can watch like my favorite soccer team is Chelsea. Like I can watch them like in the locker room, like they're all doing live videos, like yeah we just won or whatever it is, and it's like I'm with them in the room. I mean, I'm not. It's a figment of my imagination, really. But like I'm watching the video and I'm like, oh, this is like so inclusive. But really, it's not. It's kind of sad. Like when you really break it down, you're like, I'm just looking at a screen. I'm not there. I'm not a part of anything, really. I'm not really doing anything to be there. That is such an interesting thing. Like, which one's better? Like having all the access to where you're like, I feel close to celebrities that I love and like the craft that they're doing, or not knowing shit about their personal life and they're just their craft is all I know is like on the screen, on the court, on the field.
I wish we had that. Like when Leonardo DiCaprio broke up with his girlfriend because she was like 27 now, and everyone went apeshit over him like dating younger models, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck does this have to do with The Revenant, with Gilbert Grape, with Titanic, with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Like, does this matter at all to anybody but him? Like, why do we care?
Yeah, why do we care? Like, why? Like, what? What does it matter? Because also he's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, and not once has it ever impacted my life in any way, nor has it made me think I don't want to go see that new Leo DiCaprio picture, because I don't care about actors' personal. I don't care about anybody's personal life unless I know them personally.
Yeah, that is so interesting. That's such an interesting topic. And it's like, if I do know that they're a piece of shit, like, what am I supposed to do with that information? You know, am I like, oh, therefore I can't watch anything that you do? Like, I don't want to have that attitude either, because I love this stuff, you know? Yeah. Like,
I that celebrity culture, that idea that like the more you know, the more connected you feel to them, that screams like desperation so much. That feels so pathetic. I just like get a friend, like talk to somebody real. Like DiCaprio is never gonna know your name. Like, just come to terms with that shit. Like, it's crazy to me that people live on that precipice. It is so close to just like being committed. It's to me, it's Rupert Pupkin in The King of Comedy. It's like talking to the cardboard cutout like your best friends, and then going to talk to the real one, and he's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. That's what this is to me.
Yeah, it is what it is. That like 100% is what it is. Now I'm thinking back on my own life, like, have I ever just looked fucking crazy, you know? And I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've been like, oh, Adam Sandler is at the Madison, you know, is at Madison Square Garden for the Knicks game, and like, so he's not hanging out with you. You're not.
We've all done it. We've all, you know, had those moments where we like, you know, we think that we have that moment where we're like, oh, I would be their best friend, and no. They have a best friend, and it's not you. It's a come down that you just got to come to terms with at some point in your life. If you don't, you're going to end up trying to kill them, like the guy who killed John Lennon.
Yeah. There's that facet of it too. The one thing that I do think is good, my wife talks about this a lot. Like when I'm kind of like, I get like cynical and kind of like, what the fuck do we care about anything? You know, she's like, it is good. Like take Roman Polanski, for example, a guy who's gone through decades and decades of filmmaking and history, and all these different people know about him. If we didn't know like the little things about his life, it does change the way you look at him completely. Then I would be like, oh, he's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. I don't really say that now. You know what I mean? There's a huge asterisk like next to that.
There's a big difference when it's public criminal charges.
Okay.
When that shit happens, that's like, this is now something we collectively know about these people. This is bad.
That's fair. But like this guy breaking up with some girl. Yeah, I agree. I think it's like there's a spectrum.
Like my family has a huge beef with Kenneth Branagh because he cheated on Emma Thompson.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't fucking care. Emma Thompson's not my sister. I don't care. It's like, where does this come from? They hate, you know, Sandra Bullock's ex-husband. It's like, I don't know the guy. I just want to see the film. I just want to see the work.
That's hilarious.
My family falls deep into this celebrity culture from time to time, and I got to pull them out of it and make them realize, like, your life is here.
Yeah. You're in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think, there is a line where it's like, if it crosses that and it is on the news, it's like, well, I mean, they should be in prison type thing. I'm trying to think of an example that's like lesser, you know, it's like on a lesser scale. Because like the Leo thing is like, I really don't care. Like unless you were with like 15-year-olds, I like being with a 25-year-old, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
I do think that it does matter when celebrities choose to reveal this information themselves.
Interesting.
When they want people to know, like, you know, somebody in their family, like they're dying, or somebody in their family's dying, or, you know, a crime was committed, or they're retiring, something that they think is going to have bearing on the way people view them, I might pay a little bit more attention. But when it's just tabloid shit, like, look what they did, who fucking cares?
Yeah, like, Mark Wahlberg is now a Christian. Cool.
You telling me the guy from Boston is now a Christian? Wow.
Yeah. Good for you, Marky Mark.
Way to report. Good job.
Yeah, you still play Dirk Diggler. You know? Yeah, those things are just so silly, and people like when people create a whole like phenomenon around something that dumb, like a headline like Kanye cheats again. Like, cool.
Dude, nothing will ever top the endless fucking Jen and Brad bullshit. They are
Yeah,
still on that. They've been talking about that for like half a fucking decade.
at least, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, Seven's cool. You know, Brad Pitt's good in movies. You know, like that's where I'm at.
I did not mean half a decade. That's too much. That's 5 years. My mistake. Like 20 years or something. I don't know how long. See, I clearly am
Yeah,
not paying attention.
this whole century we've been talking. Like people have been
Yeah.
talking about it. It's been the in People magazine for 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
I feel like just I've absorbed by osmosis all of the people they've dated. I don't fucking care, but people keep telling me about it.
And you like you go to the grocery store, bam, magazine. You know, it's like, oh my god, you know,
Yeah.
this stuff that we're like that you and I are obsessed with. It's unfortunate that it comes with this baggage, this just like phony bullshit, like fugazi, just like fucking like it's just not fucking real. Like it's not your real life, you know. I don't know.
Well, that's always been celebrity, man. Before films, that people talked about writers like this. People playwrights, like anything that somebody's good at and can sell, someone else is going to be obsessed about it and create a crazy situation where somehow they are friends with that person so they can feel like they're special too. That
Yeah.
has been that way since celebrity first popped up. I don't know, like fucking Shakespeare, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, this is fascinating. I don't think we've ever like really gone into this kind of a thing. I guess it took Marlon Brando. Is that what?
I guess, yeah, it went from Brando to just this tirade.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I like talking about this stuff. I think it's fascinating because, like you said, I think like everybody at some point is like guilty of kind of just like contributing to it, like that mindset of like that you're just putting these people on a throne like over and over
Yeah.
and over and putting yourself down like really low. You know, like you're an ant, you know, and it's like, well, you can, you know, you're allowed to like live your own life and not vicariously through them.
I've got, my favorite actors. I like, I've got people I look forward to seeing on camera, but I don't have like posters of people. And I don't think like, oh my God, if only I could meet them and shake their hand, my life would be complete. It's like, no, I have more value than that.
That's a great point. Yeah, it would be funny if we both like had like secretly I had like a big Jake Gyllenhaal ad for like Giorgio Armani like in my closet. I'm like, that's my contribution to this bullshit. It's like or like those, you know, we have like a fucking One Direction Harry Styles Twitter account where like we're just fanboys.
God. I honestly think it would be hilarious if like I went to your place and like I opened the wrong door and there's just like a Friday the 13th poster. And
Oh
you
well, yeah,
like, and I just gotta be like, well, what the hell is this? And I find out you're just like a closeted horror fan.
me and Caleb like talk about it on the side.
Yeah, it's like
secretly we become really close, you know. Well, if we did secretly become close, that probably just ended when I was talking shit earlier.
I find out there's like a 60 episode deep like side podcast you guys have been doing.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
great.
so funny.
But yeah, it's I think there's a fine line, but you got to know which side you're on, and just know that celebrity and actor are two different things in my opinion. And
well put.
I hate celebrity. I respect actors.
Yeah, me too. I respect the ones that like genuinely make me enjoy the movie more. Well, yeah, let's talk about a few people. We'll properly get into Brando's Oscar resume soon because yeah, it's pretty impressive. But Elia Kazan, the director of Viva Zapata, a guy who worked with Marlon Brando a few times. He won Best Director for Gentleman's Agreement in 1947. He was nominated again in 1951 for Streetcar Named Desire. Then he was a second-time winner for On the Waterfront, 1954. Then he was nominated for East of Eden, 1955. Great movie. And then 1963, he was nominated for Screenplay and Director for America, America. I Not seen that one yet. That was also up for Best Picture. It's a movie I've always wanted to check out, but haven't gotten there. Then a few years before he passed away, I think he died in 2004, some shit like that. He got an honorary award in 1999. The little description is quite long, but basically because he had an unparalleled career. You know what I mean? Some shit like that, which is fine. It's fair.
Yeah.
You could say it's true. You could say it's true with Kazan. He churned out some classics, man. And anybody who has a movie like On the Waterfront under their belt, like I'm good with you.
Yeah, I love On the Waterfront. I've really got to watch A Streetcar Named Desire and Gentleman's Agreement. I own both of those movies. I should have seen
Gentleman's Agreement will definitely come up right at some point on this show.
Yeah, it's a winner.
Yeah,
and then Streetcar, I feel like would be a fun episode regardless.
100%. Fuck yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. We've tapped into like this, this world. We've tapped into Brando, tapped into Kazan with On the Waterfront. So it's kind of familiar territory. We've also tapped into Anthony Quinn. This guy fucking rules, man. He's got 2 wins for supporting actor. It would have been really cool if we would have had this last week when we did our bracket, because I definitely would have thrown him in there. But maybe for next time. He won for Viva Zapata, 1952. He won again in 1956 for Lust for Life. And then he was nominated twice after that for Best Actor in a Lead Role for Wild as the Wind and Alexis Zorbas. I haven't seen either of those movies. Zorbas?
That's the Greek title for Zorba the Greek.
Okay, I figured. I was like, where's Zorba the Greek? Okay, that makes sense. Because that's a movie that I think he's pretty well known for. He's with Irene Papas in that movie, which we both like her. She recently passed away. He's with Alan Bates as well. We need to see that movie.
We almost did one like early on, but we decided to skip it because we weren't. Nah, we didn't know. We didn't know.
We weren't ready. We weren't ready. We weren't ready for a few films we did early on, but we went for it anyway. But here we are. Here we are tackling Viva Zapata. Marlon Brando. Okay. It's very rare that someone stacks up accolades like he stacked up and not really give a shit. Very Kurt Cobain of him to just kind of like throw, Kurt Cobain would like famously throw his Grammys into the closet and be like, I don't give a shit. Marlon Brando probably did the same thing with his Oscars. Just he wasn't in it for that. He wasn't in it for statues and whatever, and this weird thing that we attach to fame. The Oscars are very odd the way they it's award art. Like we know it's just kind of silly, but Brando, he got awarded a lot.
Brando almost treated his career like he'd lost a bet.
Yeah,
let's see how far I can take this before somebody tells me to fuck off. Basically. And no one ever did. Literally, he just kept going. And
yeah,
I kind of admire that. Like if he was playing his own little game, which I totally think he was, that's admirable. I respect that.
Me too. I choose to look at it that way as well. It's just like, it's funner. It's more fun that way. So he was nominated for Streetcar Named Desire, 1951. 1 year later, he's nominated for Viva Zapata, 1952. The next year, Julius Caesar, 1953. And finally, on his 4th nomination in 1954, he wins for On the Waterfront. He was nominated again for Sayonara, 1957. So it's 5 nominations in 1 decade. Just doesn't happen. The 60s, we don't see anything from him as far as the Oscars go. And then he comes back very strong with Best Actor in a Lead Role. Big win. One of the better lead performance wins we've ever had in this category, the male category, and that's The Godfather, obviously. Don Vito Corleone, just monstrous performance, monstrous character, and a movie we did not that long ago. And boy, is it great. 1972, Last Tango in Paris. He's nominated again. We've got to do that movie on this show, man. I know it would bring a completely different kind of a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we're tackling, Hispanic misrepresentation here. We should probably, tackle like actual sexual assault in a movie, which does not happen very often, thank Christ, but it happened in this movie. And I want to know why and how this was allowed to even be released.
Me too. It's like one of the more controversial films. Even for the '70s, it's like it's out there. I've owned it for a while, and I'm like just waiting for the right moment to tackle it. It's a Bernardo Bertolucci movie. You have, of course, Brando at front and center. So there's also a screenplay credit from Agnes Varda, and she's like become one of my heroes. So I'm like, yeah, we gotta see this fucking movie and talk about it. It's famously, one of the better, quote unquote better like NC-17 movies where it like crosses that line,
Yeah.
but it's still,
Well,
it's critically acclaimed.
Well, I think we're at our best when we're tackling taboo, hard to talk about subjects. I mean, we've gone back to Polanski. We talked about Kevin Spacey after all that shit. We're doing this movie now. We're talking about race in Hollywood. Like we gotten pretty good at balancing that line, and I think we can pull it off with Last Tango in Paris.
Yeah, me too. I don't ever want to shy away from real conversations because I'm just a fucking white guy. Like part of my job is to listen and learn and be able to actually have a coherent thought process about it.
And as a mixed race man, it's my job to point out when you gringos fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is a lot. Uh, last nomination for Brando is A Dry White Season. Never seen that movie. Best actor in a supporting role in 1989. That's it for him, And then the dude keeps living for a little while, and I think he died when he was 80 years old in the early 2000s. Yeah, 2004. And the rest is history, right? He's still very relevant in pop culture and very relevant when it comes to people who love movies. He has an argument for being the GOAT.
When he was filming his last movie, he straight up refused to wear pants. There you go. That's Marlon Brando.
Baller. Just a baller. Yeah, he just didn't give a shit. Could not do that today. One of the coolest things about Viva Zapata is the writing credit here. John Steinbeck. This guy, pretty famous. Have you ever heard of Grapes of Wrath? Like he's written some big time books, big time novels, and has 3 Oscar nominations. He's got Lifeboat, 1944, the original story by Mr. Steinbeck. A Medal for Benny, 1945, also up for original story, and then best screenplay, Viva Zapata, 1952. Crazy.
I didn't even realize he was partially responsible for Lifeboat. That was such a great movie.
Yeah, me neither. I had no idea.
That's awesome. Cool stuff. Yeah, Steinbeck is, one of those guys everyone in high school hates to have to read.
Yeah, what's funny is like I didn't read anything like in high school and they like handed it out. I was like, well, I'm just not doing this. I'd rather listen to Zeppelin, baby. I was that idiot kid who just like didn't apply himself ever, and like I paid for it.
Did you go to high school in 1969? Like what?
I thought I was. I definitely wished I was, or thought it was cooler. Watched a lot of Freaks and Geeks and was like, yeah, like this applying yourself is lame.
Oh, that's funny.
I have changed. I started to love reading once I left high school, and John Steinbeck was one of the first guys I was like, they were right. Those old English teachers were fucking right. Shout out to Mrs. Waters and Mrs. Ballard. You guys were right. Like, I'm sorry.
When I was getting my teaching certificate the first time when I left the program, I shadowed an English teacher at New Braunfels High School, and she was teaching them Of Mice and Men. So I went ahead and was like, I'm going to apply myself. And I read the book before we started doing lessons. And
great book.
It was a damn good book. It was a really cool story and just heartbreaking. I still haven't seen the movie with Gary Sinise and John Malkovich. I really want to. I still look for it all the time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. And Malkovich is like, he's perfect for that.
Yeah. So I still haven't read The Grapes of Wrath, but excellent.
Great book as well. Yeah, you'd love that book.
I'm sure I would. But it's cool that Steinbeck, I didn't know that back then a lot of, novelists were also writing some films. So Way to go.
Yeah, cool. Makes sense, right? You get someone who's already, especially like someone you can put on like your trailer and your the opening credits. It's like, oh, that's a powerhouse name to just kind of have for your movie. It's a good way to sell it. So yeah, John Steinbeck was the man. Um, Last couple people I want to talk about: the cinematographer and the composer. Cinematography by Joseph McDonald in this movie. He was nominated for The Young Lions in 1958, Pepe in 1960, and The Sand Pebbles in 1966.
Hmm.
I do like the cinematography, the black and white cinematography in Viva Zapata. I thought a few scenes were like super, super impressive on that front. So I wanted to bring him up.
Yeah, I'll give you that. He was doing his job. He was doing good work. Yeah, I got no disrespect to the crew or anybody just doing their job here. Uh, yeah, it sucks. I'm sure people have blamed the wrong people in situations like this, and I really try hard not to.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I got to see the Sand Pebbles. I've heard that's really really good.
Same here, man. That's definitely one I feel like we both would get a lot out of.
The
Yeah,
original Steve McQueen is a guy we really haven't talked about that much.
no, we haven't. I want to say the only time we've really dug into him is probably like the Towering Inferno, and that might be it.
Yeah, we could do the Great Escape, which would be
Oh
such a
yeah.
great episode. Like he's got some cool shit.
Oh, he does, and he was Mr. Cool. He was like one of those cool guys. He's right up there with Paul Newman. Just kind of like I've got the juice, baby. And we don't have a lot of those guys either anymore. I guess now it's like Ryan Gosling, and which is fine. I love that guy, but come on, Paul Newman.
Steve McQueen would blow his brains out before he'd star in a Barbie movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Paul Newman would be like, "What? There's just no way. That's not happening." I would say Brad Pitt is kind of like has like that Paul Newman, Robert Redford, like, yeah, I'm cool as shit. Bullet Train would say a little bit otherwise, but for the most part, Brad Pitt's stayed true to that kind of that DNA. All right, last guy, Alex North, the composer. Decent score here for Viva Zapata. Nothing like crazy special, but there are some cool moments. He was nominated for it, but he has 15 nominations. Yeah, he's big time. I didn't really know much about him, and then I was like, oh yeah, he's done some big movies. We have A Streetcar Named Desire, 1951. Death of a Salesman, 1951. Viva Zapata, 1952. The Rose Tattoo, 1955. Unchained, 1955. The Rainmaker, 1956. Spartacus, 1960. Cleopatra, 1963. The Agony and the Ecstasy, 1965. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, 1966. The Shoes of the Fisherman, 1968. Shanks, 1974. Bite the Bullet, 1975. Fucking Dragon Slayer, 1981. And Under the Volcano, 1984. 15 nominations, no wins. So, of course, in 1986, they're like, here's an honorary award. Sorry, buddy.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
So he was one of the go-to guys for like just an epic vibe that is gonna stick around.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, good for Alex North.
Yeah, he also I was like really surprised to see he died in 1981, but in 1987 one of the last things he did was he composed the score for Good Morning Vietnam. Random.
That's beautiful. That's cool. I watched earlier today the induction of the comedy, the stand-up Hall of Fame thing on Netflix, where they
Oh,
were
okay.
inducting George Carlin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, and Joan Rivers into the hall. And that was just, yeah, Robin Williams segment, like, goddamn, so energetic, so wild, so fucking funny.
Yeah.
That was really cool
Yeah.
and touching. I recommend if you haven't checked that out, that's a cool watch.
Yeah, I have heard about that. I so rarely get on Netflix. Like
Yeah.
it's one of the last it's one of the last things that I'm like if I'm just kind of scrolling because I know I'll be on there for 2 hours before I even watch anything. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool, kind of cool, kind of cool. It all looks semi interesting. Like half the shit they put out, like the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing that's like exploded.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, like I think I'm okay. I think I'm kind of burnt out on the true crime, like deep dives on Netflix. I think I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm all for documentaries, but when you start dramatizing it, turning it into, semi-fiction, then you're just being disrespectful unless you are like adhering to the facts, and they never fucking do.
Yeah, yeah. And some of my friends are like, oh, Austin, like you would love it. Like Evan Peters is so committed. I'm like, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure I would love his performance. I'm sure I'd get some entertainment out of it. But when I read, there's specific scenes in the show where they didn't ask the family for permission to bring up that trauma.
Oh, Jesus.
And I hear there's a specific scene between Dahmer and another person, like in a court scene, and the woman, loses her mind and she fucking starts screaming at him. It's a famous, footage from that era. And her cousin came out and was like, y'all didn't ask us. Like, you didn't ask any one of us that's like related to one of the boys that got tortured and murdered. Like, you didn't ask us if we wanted to relive that. You just did it. It's like, yeah, that doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sit right.
Fuck that series. Yeah, I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, that sucks for that family. Like, they just got to deal with that shit. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, if I knew somebody close to me was a victim of a serial killer, and then they end up as a character in a TV show about that guy, and nobody fucking told me about it, yeah, I'd be incredibly pissed and hurt.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I think I read that on like IndieWire's Instagram. Like, they put up a little thing, and like this guy has this whole quote about like what the hell? Like, you're not paying us, you're not like asking us. Like, that's our cousin, that's our and like somebody's sister, that's somebody's daughter. And I was reading the comments because I was initially like, oh, that's fucked up, like that's dark. That's a different kind of dark. And there's people in the comments who are like, just don't watch it. I'm like, oh my God, that's even darker. Like the fans of this show, it's like, first of all, you realize what you're calling yourself a fan of? like it's like there's layers to that show, and I'm like, I'd rather not get into it. I think I'm just gonna leave it over there.
This isn't Hannibal Lecter. This isn't some creepy boogeyman. This is a man who existed and murdered innocent people, and is being glorified like this. Like, weird. All these people have this happen, like they become like pop culture. It's so fucked up.
Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah. That weird reverence. I don't get that, man.
Yeah, I understand like a fascination reading about them or hearing stuff about them. Like, I understand that like knowledge stuff, like time suck is like such a fascinating way to break things down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to glorify and be like it feels like Ted Bundy and Dahmer and like Manson, they get like this weird, almost like approval. It's like, what? Oh, weird.
That's why I love Time Suck, because like while he's telling the factual story of how this all happened, he's also just repeatedly shitting on the bad guy and just calling him an idiot or a monster or a douchebag and just taking the power away from him. And I love that he does that. And he always names every single victim and tells their stories. And that is important.
I wholeheartedly agree. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be watching that show.
I don't intend to, no.
That started with you were talking about on Netflix. How did that even?
The Netflix Comedy Hall of Fame thing.
Yes. Okay, I need to watch that because that'll make me smile and have a good time.
Yeah, it's Jon Stewart inducts George Carlin, Chelsea Handler inducts Joan Rivers, John Mulaney inducts Robin Williams, and Dave Chappelle inducts Richard Pryor. And Jeff Ross does the in memoriam, which is very touching.
Wow. Yeah. And it's like how long is it? Like, what is it, like episodes or like?
No, it's like an hour.
Wow, yeah, that's special.
Great. It's great.
That's special. Okay, I'll try to get to that. I gotta like write it down, because I forget stuff like so easily because I'm like, oh yeah, but this thing that I want to watch, that sounds really cool though. I love stuff like that, like honoring history and legacy.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm ready to get some awards here if you're down.
Yeah, this is a very interesting episode.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I'm in for it. It's like we need one of these every once in a while where we just get to kind of just banter. This is good fun.
Yeah, just unpack a lot of like shit that's been bothering us in the entertainment industry once in a while.
Yeah. There's not really I feel like Oscar Sunday, it's we do like to open up to these kinds of discussions because we realize how important it is. You know, you and I, part of our friendship is these kinds of conversations, like the at large, big picture thing about movies. You know, like understanding that the industry that we support over and over
Yeah.
is full of fucking snakes. You know, like it's good to know that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Be prepared with what you're, idolizing here.
Yeah, exactly. So I am excited to hear your awards for this movie. You know, I think you liked it a little bit more than I did, but you know we both have our quandaries with it. We have our Quentin Tarantino award for the best quote. There's some good stuff here. Good screenplay. The Ennio Morricone for the best music moment. Decent score from Alex North. You know, nothing like crazy, but it's solid. Then we have the Philip Seymour Hoffman Award, which for me was a no brainer, and then the Roger Deakins Award for the best scene of the movie. I'll let you take it away whenever you're ready.
So my Tarantino comes from the scene where uh, Emiliano is now acting president of Mexico, and he looks
Yes.
so uncomfortable in that suit and tie. It's totally not who he is. And the farmers come asking him for help because his brother has taken their land. And they're like, we need your help to get it back. And he has to think this through. And he ultimately tells them, oh, no, wait, this is not from this scene. This is later on when he goes to confront his brother. And the farmers are like, well, what do we do? And this is what he tells them. Okay. He says, this land is yours, but you must protect it. It won't be yours long if you don't protect it. If necessary, with your lives and your children with their lives. Don't discount your enemies. They will be back. And if your house is burned, build it again. If your corn is destroyed, replant. If your children die, bear more. I don't know about that one. If they drive you out of the valley, live on the mountain, but live. You always look for leaders, strong men without faults. There aren't any. There are only men like yourselves. They change, they desert, they die. There are no leaders but yourselves. A strong people is the only lasting strength. That is an incredibly socialist thing to say in 1952.
Very much so. Yeah. And then you break it down to that, what is it, like 1910 when he's probably saying that? You know?
Yeah.
He died in what, 1918, 1919? I don't
19, I
remember.
want to say 1919.
Okay. So yeah,
Uh,
it's in the early 1900s here. We're
yeah.
talking about a mindset that people now can't even fathom, which is crazy.
Yeah. There's, help each other out is such a fucking alien concept to this country that you can put it in a movie in 1952. And a lot of people aren't going to realize, like, wait a minute, isn't that what we shouldn't be saying? I mean, this is the Cold War. But yeah, I always love finding these gems, these nuggets of info where very liberal screenwriters snuck a little red into their screenplay and nobody caught it.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that that's like what writing is for, is to be able to like pour those thoughts and those beliefs and like stand up for what's right. And that is the coolest part about Zapata, is like that he represents this rebellion and this revolution, and still to this day, like there's Rage Against the Machine talks about him, and like they're in some of their songs, like there's that carryover, that like influence that he has. And so like, of course, I went into this movie thinking the best part will probably be the screenplay. There's probably going to be some kick-ass shit, and there was some good stuff. I this is the one I probably had the hardest time picking. The other ones were like, oh, okay, like that something really stood out. I mean, I love so much of Anthony Quinn's delivery. One of my favorite things he does is when he just screams at everybody, "Boys, General Zapata!" Just that crazy voice. Or when he's kind of drunk and he's like, "I love you, but I do not like you," and you're like, "How many cigarettes did you smoke today?" Like he has that thing that you just can't. Nobody else has that thing in his throat and his voice. Is super impressive, and it was hard because I loved everything he said. Like delivery is everything. With Anthony Quinn, and he's so good at it. But I also connected with what you chose. I wrote down on my paper, I always write stuff down. I wrote down, because I'm not going to write down the whole goddamn speech, you know. So I wrote down long speech from Brando. Then I wrote down Quinn one liners. You know, like that shit's the best. But if I really had to choose like one of from the movie that like represented something that like lasts with it, it's at the end when Zapata dies, and the old general says, "Sometimes a dead man can be a terrible enemy." Like, oh man, because and I started thinking about people like important, iconic, leaders. When they pass away, sure, that sucks, but it typically lights a fire under people's ass. Um, I started thinking about Fred Hampton. And I was like, he knew the whole time, I'm going to die, but when I do, everything I did will be so worth it for these people that follow me. And it was like that kind of applies to Zapata. Like he was doing it. He knew like one day this is gonna be over. Like, I can't. The way I'm living like a fucking gangster right now. Like I can't do this forever. But it's not gonna stop me from doing the right thing for people, for human beings, for my brothers, for my sisters, and that's like the coolest thing about Zapata as like a legend, as an icon. And so when he says that, he's like, "Yeah, you may have killed him, but like, don't showboat this. Like, those people will come back for your ass, if you don't do this the right way." And I thought that was such a cool line to kind of like almost finish the movie with. And yeah, that scene that scene was impactful.
Oh yeah. The only thing a tyrannical government hates more than a revolutionary is a martyr. And
Exactly.
you make that happen, there's no way you can lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
powerful
right.
stuff.
That's nice,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. But yeah, man, that compared the Quinn one liner, he's just on fire in this movie, and you can't go wrong.
You really can't. He is such a fascinating. Like if he hadn't found movies, I think he would have gotten in a bar fight and ended up committed to a mental hospital, screaming at the ghost of his 12-year-old self.
I believe you. I believe you. I'm glad we have this knowledge of him. We have this legacy that like he can be remembered by. Yeah, he's lights out in this movie. And Morricone Award, best music moment.
This was the hardest one for me because, like you said, it's a good score, but it's not exactly an amazing score.
That's fair.
I chose a bit of music when Zapata is talking to Madero, and all of a sudden you find out that Madero's general Huerta has led a coup and is on his way to go kill Zapata. And Zapata's like, well, I guess I got to deal with this now. And he gets his people together and they go off to face Huerta. And the music that's playing, you get this impending sense of dread and betrayal. Like the fight that everyone thought was over has only just begun. And that was, I like that. I like that vibe of like, someone's not coming back from this. And yeah, it pays off. It's the fight that just keeps on going because this, everyone who thinks they're going to be the revolutionary who changes things, once they sit in that seat, they're just like the last guy every time.
Yep. Yeah. Just another fucking politician. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's there's not enough cool people who end up in that position. That's just another reason why Zapata's a cool guy. He wanted to keep trying. My Ennio goes to when Anthony Quinn dies. Just fucking suck. You knew it was coming. A lot of this movie is like foreshadowing, and you can like tell when stuff is going to happen, and you're like, oh fuck, But it's inevitable. It's history. It's the way things went down, and I just thought that was really powerful because it's sad. It's brothers, like a brother leaving a brother, and not just that, but a powerful person to have on your side. It's kind of like if you're going to go into a fight, you probably want Anthony Quinn with you.
Sure as shit, don't want him against you.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm glad I called that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a poignant moment. It was entirely his own goddamn fault. But he's one of
Yeah.
those guys that, if you're not, like, he has to fight because that's all he's got.
Oh,
There is,
He's Sonny Corleone. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. He's, I was thinking of Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones. Like,
Yep.
you were the war hero, and then the war is over, and now you are the fat, bloated, like, aftermath.
Yeah.
Like, now you got nothing. The
Yeah.
respect is gone unless you have a sword or a gun in your hand. And yeah, you just knew his story wasn't going to end well. But
No.
and
The
he
whole
was
time.
it felt like a suicide by cop vibe of, like, he knew what he was getting into when he took that place. He knew that if he took their land, they were going to try to kill him, and I think he just didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Like, I'm tired.
I'm not pulling the trigger myself, but I'm going to go out like a warrior.
Yeah. It's like when Jeremy Renner leaves Fenway Park and he's like, I'm not, yeah, I'm not going to stop trying, but yeah, I'm about to die. Fuck you. All right. Philip Seymour Hoffman Award. For me, this was a no brainer, but what do you got?
I would be the world's biggest goddamn hypocrite if I gave this to Marlon Brando. So I won't. I'm giving this to Anthony Quinn.
Yeah, me too. You're like, hands down, this is the definition of a supporting, like a perfect supporting performance. He's in a lot of it, but he's not the main guy. But every time he's there, you're like, I'm looking at him.
Well, he pours so much of his own pain into this. I mean, not just, his family's his family's involvement in this actual conflict, but also, growing up as a, Mexican American child, kind of alienated from both sides, not white enough, not Hispanic enough. And also not getting the role, Brando kind of upstaging him. He took that and he poured that into this too. That's this anger, this rage, this second fiddle little brother shit that he has felt his whole life. He brought that into this, and you just bought it. You felt every ounce of his frustration and his rage and his, like, just, desire to whore it up. Like, he loved life, but life didn't love him.
Well put.
Yeah. It was a great performance. Very well earned. I'm glad he got the Oscar.
Yeah, me too. I definitely would have put him in the tournament last week if we had him. Like he's like worth it. He's worth that statue. He's and he has two of them, so I want to see that in one now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything I've seen him in, he's pretty much my favorite thing about everything I've seen him in. I'm falling in love with the guy. Like his craft is something to behold. All right, Roger Deakins Award, best scene of the movie. What did you pick?
This changed a couple times. I kept finding new stuff that I was like, oh, that's way better. Oh, that's way better. Ultimately, it was the scene I wrongly referenced earlier, where Zapata is acting president and the farmers come to complain to him, because that moment, that scene perfectly mirrors Emiliano's first meeting with Diaz, where he was the complaining farmer and Diaz was like, what's your name? And as soon as Emiliano said that to the one guy, he had that moment of clarity of like, what have I become?
Yeah.
He's like, I am not Diaz. I am not a dictator. I am not a ruler. I am a farmer, and these men need help.
Yeah. And that's the difference between him and him. Yeah.
It was a great moment of just, like, you could see it in his eyes. Like, this is not what I thought. This is not how this was supposed to end. And I just love that, where he just goes back into the other room, comes back with his gun and his hat, and is like, let's go.
Yeah.
I respected the hell out of that. I thought that was really cool. And I thought it would have been a million times more cool if that had been, Anthony Quinn doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it would have been my Deakins if it would have been Anthony Quinn. But my Deakins does involve is Brando. It's the end. It's the finale. It's when he dies. It's not so much about Brando's performance. It's about, like, what Zapata represents and the lengths that these people are going to take him down. It takes 100 guns to take this guy down. He really feels like he's a giant lion, and everybody's like, we have to attack that at the same time. Make sure he's not breathing. It's that kind of a execution. And so cinematically, it gets loud. When I was watching on my TV, I was like, God damn, just, just guns all over the place going off, killing this one this one dude. And if that doesn't speak volumes of what what a man Zapata is compared to all these little boys that have to team up and kill him, it's like, it doesn't speak volumes of like what he represented and like what he meant to scaring the norm and scaring the people that wanted to control everything. It's a timeless type of storytelling. It's here's a guy who's willing to challenge the powers that be and lead people and get them to actually believe that, hey, there's more of us. If we can outnumber them, we can take the power back, and bring it back to Rage Against the Machine. Take the power back, like that's I've always been obsessed with that idea of, I think all of us are, like the hopeless side of all of us is like I wish like there weren't people making decisions for me, like that's never going to end. So when you put that in movies, like it can give you chills and you can be like, oh man, like what if we had a Zapata, like what if modern America had someone who's really willing to just step up and be like, fuck you, and like and lead us, and like we actually followed. We're like, actually, like, I'll drop my life, I'll drop all this horse shit that's around me, like fucking, working these 9 to 5 40-hour a week jobs. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we all doing? We're all like withering and wasting away. So I always love when movies use that and use it to like inspire you. And even if you're inspired for a moment, then you go back to your normal life. That's like what I did. Yeah. That's I don't know what else to do, but I could still look up to these people.
Yeah, America did have revolutionaries like that, and they were all killed in the '60s.
Yeah, basically, yeah. 60s were not a nice time to our greatest civilians. We're all annexed.
Anytime anyone threatens the status quo, they're killed by the powers that be. That's just the way it works, and that's a damn shame. But like Brando said in this movie, and I really hope Emiliano said in real life, we can be our own leaders. We can respect ourselves. We can find power in each other. And I firmly believe that. We just don't have, like, people aren't strong enough to care about one another like that yet. And I don't know if we ever will be, especially in this country.
Yeah, especially where we're at. You got people who are so scared to not be comfortable all the time. They're so scared to share with somebody that they don't know, or all it takes is a conversation. All it takes is perspective, and can change everything. So yeah, it's important to have these conversations with yourself. So when you're watching these movies or you're reading these kinds of stories about someone who really tried, it's like let it get into you, let it inspire you, let it sink in, and look yourself in the mirror and be like, what the fuck am I doing to help the people around me? Am I just going with the flow like everybody, and one day I'm just gonna die and nobody's gonna give a shit? The people around you should have nice things to say about you when you die. Like that's the code you should live by. Like you should, whatever your kids or your parents or siblings, whatever it is, they should be like, yeah, like they made me better. Like that should happen.
I once heard somewhere that like all life is just gathering up the most amount of people to show up at your funeral. And I don't remember who said that, but that stuck with me for years.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Like 2 people, one of which got hired to be there? Or do you want like, a crowd of people who remembered you and are going to continue to remember you? And that's important.
Yeah, not just because you're some famous rapper or something, but because like the people who met you were like infected by your whatever it is, your kindness or your bravery, your generosity, something. We all have one special thing. I'm gonna reference Boogie Nights as many times as I can.
Well, of all things, I can tell you, I probably won't be remembered for that.
Fuck you, Dirk Diggler. Yeah,
you're making us all look bad.
Yeah, it was prosthetic.
I had a follow up scene I almost went with, and that was when Madero is executed.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
that was creepy. The way that played out, like you knew, like the second you hear the president's been locked away in the presidential palace, you're like, oh boy, yeah, the generals are talking to each other right now.
Yeah.
And when they come to get him, and then they just like drop him in the street, surrounded by soldiers, and Madero slowly realizing what's about to happen, and then he lets out that like ungodly shriek before they just blow him away. That freaked me out.
Yeah.
That was a man realizing like there's no way out, and he was absolutely terrified. And then
That's a good
Huerta's
point.
just like,
Yeah.
pack it up. I got somewhere to be. Wow.
Yeah. Good God. Yeah. That's a good shout. So yeah, maybe a 7 is the right way to look at this movie. Maybe I was a little too harsh. Because I feel like there are 4 or 5 scenes that I was like, yeah, that was good stuff.
That's the thing. I don't like to condemn anything for one bad quality, no matter how bad it is. I'm sure there's always something else to look at. And with this movie, it was I could just look at Brando and say like, I will not support this movie. I don't like what they did with that. But then I'm completely ignoring Anthony Quinn's contribution to this. I'm completely ignoring the screenplay, the many excitable scenes, the really good ending, and that's just not fair to anybody.
That's a good point. I love that. I think we're on the same page with that. We watch a lot of movies and for these shows, and you start to realize, it's not the same as it once was. Like times have changed. We have gotten better in some senses, very slowly.
It's true, but some stuff is just being straight up ignored. And
Yeah,
frankly, Hispanic representation is one of those things.
it is. It's like not what's the like it's not cool to like bring that up. It's not like, oh yeah, like fucking this part of our history isn't like the topic. It should be.
Literally right now, James Franco was cast as Fidel Castro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what the fuck? I mean, I think it was John Leguizamo who went ape shit on that and is like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm so glad he
Yeah.
did, because nobody else did.
Yeah, everybody's else is just like, I just want to stay in my nice house and be cozy. It's like, fuck off, stand up for something, god damn it. Be a Zapata, don't be a Franco.
Damn right, that's good.
uh,
Yeah.
that's great. Oh, I love it. The five categories we're going to talk about here: best music, best scoring of a dramatic or comedy picture is like the technical category. Really weird. Best art direction, black and white. Best story and screenplay. Best actor in a lead role, and then the lone win is best actor in a supporting role. So we'll start with probably we'll do best music here. I feel like of course we have High Noon as the winner. Of course we've talked about that movie. Have we talked about this Miklos Rosa guy before? I feel like we
Oh,
have.
oh yeah, we've
Well,
talked about
what was it? What
Uh,
was it?
I want to say Spellbound.
Ah, that might be it. That might be it.
Yeah, 3 Oscars for Spellbound. Yep. Okay, that was it.
What's the other stuff? Obviously.
He won. He had where was it? 17 nominations, 3 wins for Spellbound, A Double Life, and Ben-Hur.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Okay, heavy hitter. I was gonna say I know we've brought him up before.
I
He's one of those big time guys.
He comes up a lot in the prep. Whenever we got a showdown, he's usually the behind the score of one of these pre-70s
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. This movie I've never heard of. Ivanhoe. What is that?
Ivanhoe. Yeah, that's a historical epic. I think yeah, Robert Taylor, Elizabeth Taylor, Joan
Okay.
Fontaine, George Sanders.
Jesus.
Ooh, based on the historical novel. I knew I'd heard the name before. Walter
Okay.
Scott. Okay. Yeah, that might
Okay.
be a fun
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. I'm in on that. Miklos is the man. You got Max Steiner also up for A Miracle of Fatima. Herschel Burke Gilbert up for The Thief, not Thief from 1981, The Thief from 1952, and then Alex North for Viva Zapata. So it's some guys we definitely have now gained some sort of somewhere in the back of my mind. I'm like I know these guys.
It's nice to have the names stick, and then you're like, you can just pull that out, like, oh, he did the score for Spellbound and Ben-Hur. Like, yeah,
That's part of the whole thing, right? Is like that the gaining that little knowledge. Best art direction, black and white. We got another movie we both like here. The winner is The Bad and the Beautiful. It beat Carrie, My Cousin Rachel, Rashomon, and Viva Zapata. Rashomon, of course, is a movie we've also done. I didn't realize this was a part of this ceremony. That movie came out in 1950, but because foreign language films would take like 9 years to come out over here, and they only matter when they come out over here. So that's weird. I would have sworn it was a different ceremony.
all it takes is one studio executive who just has a little bit of interest in something that didn't happen in this country. It's all it takes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's fucking sad, but it's true. But that movie kicks ass, right? Rashomon. We did that a long time ago. I mean, like 100 episodes ago.
Yeah, that was my straight up introduction to Akira Kurosawa, and never looked back. That was, I believe, I watched for prep alongside Rashomon. I watched Seven Samurai and The Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, both of us watched all three of those for the first time that week. And
what the hell were we thinking?
I remember just being like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of, my eyes were twitching. I'm like, I really, really like Rashomon. I like Hidden Fortress a lot. I think one day down the road, I need to watch Seven Samurai again because I think it went over my head. Maybe I don't know because it's so fucking like massive, so critically acclaimed. And I was like, that was good, but
the only way
4 hours.
I think the only way we're gonna get into that movie, we need to rent out a theater, and we need to watch Seven Samurai uninterrupted, phones off, intermission, but no distractions, and just invest. And I think if we do that, we will get it.
I think I agree with you. I think it's one of those you gotta find it at the right time. I think it's one of those massive old foreign films that
because I refuse to believe that it's boring. I am 100% sure it is me.
Yeah, same. We both. I think I gave it like 4 stars on Letterboxd, so like an 8 out of 10. But people were like, no, that's like a surefire 10 out of 10. And I'm like, okay,
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, hey, there you go. Maybe
I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that.
Okay, so I found out the problem here. Rashomon at the 24th Academy Awards the year before, it got an honorary award. So it's at 2 different ceremonies. One for an honorary and one for best art direction.
It'd be weird if we still did that. We just had one movie that just keeps popping up every year.
Yeah, that happened with foreign films all the time back then. It like pisses me off because I'm like, if I want to use this for the show, I'm like, which ceremony are we going to? That happened with Day for Night, Francois Truffaut. We had to go to like 2 different ceremonies, which is not like a lot of work or anything, but it's just annoying.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Yeah,
the movie comes out in 1973. It came out in 1973. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. And I was finding out more and more. I was looking up because I was doing this project on my own about like what if I could redo the best picture category completely and have it's too much to talk about right now. But I was finding out that so many movies that I thought came out, like in 2012, technically that was like their festival date or whatever, or that's when they came out overseas. And so like really they came out in February of 2013 or whatever. And I'm like, that completely ruins my whole idea because I'm like, I have all these movies written down. And it's like, actually, Francis Ha didn't come out in 2012. It came out like in March of 2013. And I'm like, oh, well, so it's a 2013 movie now? Like, I always looked at that movie as like that one and The Master are like my 2 favorite movies from 2012. Not anymore. And like those little things blow my mind because I'm always thinking about stuff like that. And here I am just getting my day ruined for stupid reasons.
You're not alone. That has bothered me for years, and I've never understood why. And I think about that quite a lot.
Yeah, just like look at me, little ant, little jackass Austin, just wasting his fucking energy on being angry. let's move to best screenplay. This is always a category that we both love. I've been wanting to do some kind of massive screenplay project, like a tournament, like we did last week with like our like best screenplay, our best original screenplay winners, like going toe to toe.
Yes.
Because I listened back to our, I'll say it. I listened back to our supporting actor tournament, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is the kind of stuff I want to do for the rest of my life. Is having those kind of just fun conversations about people that we love doing things we love. Like that's the reason we started all of this, you know. And it's like good to get back to that every now and again. So screenplay. This is some of our favorite shit. So why not do a tournament? At the 25th Academy Awards, the Lavender Hill Mob won this award. That's T.E.B. Clark, credited with the screenplay. Beat Sydney Boehm. I don't really know how you'd say that.
Boom.
The Atomic City. Terrence Rattigan for Breaking the Sound Barrier. Ruth Gordon and Garson Kanine for Pat and Mike. And then John Steinbeck for Viva Zapata.
How intimidated do you think everybody was in that category when they saw they were up against John fucking Steinbeck?
Yeah, they're like, yeah. That guy's here. Yeah, and he's just hammered at the ceremony, like, oh, oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome.
I haven't seen the rest of these films. I don't really have anything to say.
Me neither.
I think on the other side of this, though, for best adapted screenplay, I cannot believe Carl Foreman didn't win that for High Noon.
Oh yeah, I remember when we did High Noon, we were like, this should just win everything. It's that good.
It's such an incredible movie. And after reading a book about the production, everything Carl went through with that, with, getting kicked off production, getting blacklisted by HUAC, and just getting all of his friends just alienated him, just said like, oh, I don't know him at all. And just, exiled him. And then for him to get an Oscar nomination, it would have been great if he gotten to go up on that stage and basically say, fuck you to all of Hollywood. That would have been awesome.
Hell yeah. God, High Noon kicks ass. I think when we did that, or I feel like recently I was looking at my letterbox and that should be a 10. I need to move that movie up to a 10. It's 5 stars. Like the more I think about it, the more it gets brought up. I'm like, that movie's perfect. And I just need to accept it.
Love it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that one. Now, this next category I agree with. You have Gary Cooper for Best Actor, getting the win for High Noon. He beats, this is a cool group, Marlon Brando for Viva Zapata, Kirk Douglas for The Bad and the Beautiful, Alec Guinness for The Lavender Hill Mob. I want to see that movie. That one sounds kind of interesting. And then Jose Ferrer, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Right? Obviously I've heard of him, but don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about him. And for Moulin Rouge, never seen that one.
Yeah, Jose Ferrer, actually one of Anthony Quinn's idols, helped him get to the start.
Makes sense.
And father of Miguel Ferrer, who we all remember from a lot of David Lynch crazy shit.
Yeah, he's awesome. And Traffic.
And Traffic. But yeah, Gary Cooper in High Noon is flawless. Just this, man's man, brought to the brink, alienated by his friends and neighbors. Sound familiar? Carl Foreman. And just having to face, the devil on his own. He pulls it off and basically says, thanks a bunch, everybody, and leaves. It's perfect. It's a whole movie just him trying to get some help. I love High Noon.
Do not forsake me, oh my darling. Yeah.
And
that movie's brilliant.
Gary Cooper is the only person who stood by Carl Foreman, the only person who said, like, I got your back. And he maintained that through the entire production. Stanley Kramer said, fuck off. Fred Zinnemann was like, I can't be bothered. Gary Cooper's like, I've already been kicked out of this industry one time. What's the second time? I got your back, Carl. It was awesome. They remained friends, like, I think till like one of them died.
Yeah, I got you, Carl. It's going to be fine. Gary Cooper is, from everything I've read, seems like a guy that you can get behind,
He was a man's man. He stood by his friends, and he slept his way through classic Hollywood like nobody's business. He fucked everybody.
I bet he has some amazing story or had some amazing stories.
Dude,
God, yeah, what a guy.
he's one of my heroes. Gary Cooper's one of my heroes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, he's the man. And High Noon is his, it's his baby. That's the one that people will always remember him for. Well, people like us, not just your general guy off the street. Last category, best actor in a supporting role. This also is an interesting group. We have Anthony Quinn with the win for Viva Zapata. You got Richard Burton for My Cousin Rachel, big time guy. Arthur Honeycutt for The Big Sky. What a cool last name.
Oh, I bet he got teased big time. There's a lot of ways to make that funny.
There is, and then you become an adult, and you're like, I'm going to embrace this. That's great. Victor McLaglen for The Quiet Man. Not my favorite movie. Yeah, it's fine. And then Jack Palance for Sudden Fear. That's a good group.
Yeah, The Quiet Man. It's one of the few John Waynes where I was like, you know what, this is pretty good.
It's better than most of them. Yeah.
He's just not, a cowboy who's like an ex-soldier or like the greatest shot on earth. He's just a dude who's haunted by his demons who marries a fiery Irish woman. Like finally something else. Something different.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny. That's a way we remember him. We did that whole episode where we watched a shit ton of his movies. That was a long time ago. And I was like, after that, I was like, I'm good, like forever. I don't ever need to go back to this guy's filmography. He's just not my kind of actor. Just don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't care. Before we get out of here, are you gonna watch? What's that fucking Blonde? Are you gonna watch Blonde on Netflix?
I am not. I've been reading about this thing.
It looks boring as fuck.
Well, just how disrespectful. I mean, it basically just show, it's a reenactment of Marilyn Monroe's life in like a way where it just paints her as a whore who's just passed around by famous people. And that's just incredibly disrespectful to her memory as a human being. I mean, just what, My Week with Marilyn may not have been entirely accurate, but at least it was respectful.
Yeah, it's a decent flick. Yeah.
This is just like, I hear there's like an actual like blowjob scene that got the movie an NC-17 rating where she's just sucking off JFK and crying. It's like, do we need that? I don't need to see that.
I definitely don't need to see that. And this might be an unpopular opinion. Ana de Armas. Are we sure? Are we sure she should be playing Marilyn Monroe?
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up.
Because, look, I think she's got something really unique, and I think she's really good in the latest James Bond. And I thought she was good in Knives Out. She just learned English 8 years ago, and I'm all for opportunities being for everybody and whatnot. But the clips I've seen of the movie, I'm I can hear her Cuban accent, and this is Marilyn Monroe, the whitest blonde American lady of all time.
Yeah,
I'm all for people going above and beyond and trying stuff as an actor. That's your fucking job. But it's all right, if we're making a Marilyn Monroe movie, let's go ahead and make a Marilyn Monroe movie. I don't know. My brother watched it. Adam, you know him. He's like, yeah, I watched 20 minutes, and then after that, I just had it on. I was on my phone the rest of the time. It's one of those second screen, just it just looks really boring. I don't know. I might watch it because I feel like it might get some random Oscar nomination, but we'll see. It's getting panned. It's getting eviscerated. Letterboxd has not been kind to it.
I'm all for opportunity as well. However, when you're portraying real people, when you're claiming to be a biopic, don't do that. I think, take, Being the Ricardos, because that keeps coming up lately. Imagine Tom Cruise playing Desi Arnaz. Would that piss people off? I think it would. And
yeah.
I think Ana de Armas, this is pretty much the reverse of what my thesis is. Like, this is like any, this kind of vibe of like, oh, it's just an actor. Anybody can play anybody. Like, I don't know about that. Like, and I think that acting like that's, not weird is a whole different level of disrespectful. So, yeah, okay. It's hard to kind of say what we want to say here without sounding like assholes.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, "Fuck you, Ana de Armas." Like, she's doing her job. She's like, she's making money. She's doing her thing. I'm just like, of all, it's Marilyn Monroe. It's not just like some schmuck. Like, she's like one of the only people from that era, like, that people still talk about. If you're gonna like go for it, like, fucking go for it. Like, for example, Austin Butler as Elvis, like, that like worked. He like did a good job. People were like, like he like sounded like him and looked like him or whatever. Like, cool. Like, that's the point of like casting somebody for a biopic, like you said, about someone who's real. Now, can Ana de Armas play some lady named Ashley Jones and like happens to be like a white girl? Sure. And like a fictional movie? Sure. I don't care. Like, that wouldn't matter to me. You know what I mean? If she's just pops up in some movie that's written by some guy in his garage, like, fine. Like,
Yeah.
if she pops up in some Tarantino movie down the line and isn't, a Cuban character, I don't care about that. People have done that forever. Like, that's part of that can be part of acting. But I think you hit the nail on the head with when it's a biopic. Like, I don't want to sound like some fucking douchebag, but I do think like there are certain, like, I don't know if they're rules, but it's like, hey, like, take it seriously.
It's more of just like an unwritten kind of good form thing. It's like, just
Yeah.
make, pick the actor best suited to the performance. And when you have an actress with a Cuban accent that constantly slips as Marilyn Monroe, I mean, it's going to take people out, and frankly, it's going to make her look bad as a performer. So nobody wins here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's just kind of a mess. It's like, clearly it's the way it's getting talked about is like, hey, it makes me want to stay away, but I don't know. It's on Netflix, so maybe some random night when I'm like bored out of my mind, maybe I'll watch it. But I don't know.
Just to make also another like kind of my whole feelings known here, I felt the same way about Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana, where she's not British, her accent's not good. Why did you go with her? Go with somebody who best inhabits the person you are trying to portray on camera and their legacy.
That's a fair argument. That movie also just boring as fuck. Like,
Oh
so goddamn boring.
The only thing I really remember was the old couple who wouldn't shut the fuck up in the theater I was at.
Man, biopics can go so poorly, and like, if it's not taken seriously, it's like, oh god, this is a disaster.
If this new project I'm working on goes in the right direction, hopefully I'll be able to help with that.
Yes, there you go. Wouldn't it be fun to like do your own biopic and be able to like make decisions like that on casting people? Like, that'd be so cool.
I wrote a paper on Rocky Erickson a couple semesters in college, a couple semesters ago. I got so fascinated with this guy's life. He was a rock star in the 60s in Austin, Texas, right when it was starting to boom. And I got so into this guy's life that I was just like, somebody should tell this story. And I want to turn this into a screenplay. I just don't have any time. But I want to tell that guy's story. I know exactly what I'd call it. Two-Headed Dog, like his biggest song. And
hell yeah.
I thought about like who I would cast, and I think Paul Walter Hauser is the guy I would want.
Okay. That would be cool.
Yeah, like this could happen. I could do this. I just don't have fucking time to do it.
I know what you mean, man. I just have these ideas.
I need a rent-free place and like $50,000, and I can do all of this. Is that too much to ask? So please donate.
Yeah. If you invest 3 years of rent-free peace and $50,000, I will give you your money back and then some, you know. I will write a show as good as The Wire, you know. Like I'll give it my all. Yeah. It's so
I'll give
funny.
you 3 novels, 8 short stories, and a screenplay, and you do with that what you want.
That's so funny. Yeah, I just need time and some money.
I need time and less stress and just people leaving me alone for like a few months.
Yeah, that's the main thing is like just the everyday like trials like of life. And you're just like, I have to do this thing. It's taking away from all my creative time. and it sucks.
Funniest thing is like I keep having that conversation with myself, and then what do? I go and start talking about another friend about another podcast. I'm like, half of me is like, this is gonna be fun, but the other half of me is like, what the fuck are you thinking? You can barely handle this.
Yeah, yeah. My brother asked me, my other brother, Jeremy, was like, do you ever think and he's right. He's right because he knows me. Do you ever think like all the time you spend recording and all the time you spend watching the movies that like you do for that show? He's like, what if you like wrote that entire time? I'm like, don't tell me that, man. don't, don't tell me that. This is easier. All right. But at the end of the day, you know, I had someone ask me, one of my friends, they're like, well, what do you want to do? You love movies so much. And I'm like, you know what? I have no idea what I would do. I don't know if I'd want to write or if I'd want to be behind a camera or what it would be. I love watching them. I fucking love inhaling movies and learning and finding out about new directors and new writers and new performers. Like, that's what I like to do. And I don't know if I have like the heart or the true passion to actually be a part of it. I'm okay with being on the outside. Like I that's probably where I belong. The discourse around it is like what I'm most fascinated with. Talking to you about movies or talking to someone who's like not as into it, but also has like a passion for specific movies. Like I can do either one. I like talking to Connor, who's like understands everything I'm saying, and I understand most of what he's saying. And then I also like the discourse of talking to someone who's like, yeah, I watch like 2 movies a week. You know, like, you know, people who are like aren't as crazy about it. I like that. I like connecting with different people on different scales of like being a movie fan. Like that's what I love. And that's why I do the podcast. You know, that's what I told my brother. And he's like, good answer. He's like, I was just wondering, you know, like, what if you like created something with all the time you spend recording? And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but I wouldn't. If I wasn't doing the podcast, I'd be fucking dicking around doing some other dumb shit. I'd be playing some video game or watching some stupid TV show. You know what I mean? This is good for me.
I know exactly what you mean because I do have the time and I still don't create. Like I can do like I have my schoolwork, I have my podcast. I have time and I just choose to not do it because frankly, you know, I don't have the spark right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 60 pages into a new novel. I'm scrapping all of it because I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
That's a hard choice to make, but I'd rather write something I'm proud of than just power through some shit. And
I respect that so much, man. Yeah. That's hard. It's hard.
It sounds to me honestly like you should be a producer because they don't have to do anything, but they still get to call the shots.
That'd be great.
Yeah. You got to get in with like Paramount or something because you're smarter than all those dipshits. You can work your way to the top, no problem. You just got to lie to the right people.
I would also love to be the one guy in the studio who's like, you know, a hot new director comes in. I'm like, let's see what he does here. And everybody's like, no, like this movie's 3 hours. We got to cut it. And I'm like, nah, man, like maybe he's the next Paul Thomas Anderson. Let's let it happen.
See, then you'd get the argument of like Paul Thomas Anderson doesn't make money, so get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Yeah. We're about to go into a whole fucking rabbit hole. We could talk about this forever. See, this is what I love to do. This is what I love to do.
I'm trying desperately right now to turn that into a teaching career. And I might pull it off. I might not. I don't know until I get there.
You're going to try, though. God damn it, you're going to try.
I'm going to fucking argue this till I am red in the fucking face and then some. if I hear I don't get it from that committee, I might start throwing shit.
Fuck all of you. Oh man, that'd be amazing. Let's see. I guess we're done here, huh?
I guess we're done. Yeah.
I guess that's a good way to get out of here. We do have a cool week coming up. We got Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 on Filmgasm. We have Bye Bye Man on Bye Bye Man on Beyond the Bad. Fuck yeah. And then next week we're going to be doing a movie in honor of Amsterdam. We're going to be doing the new David Russell film coming out next week, starring Christian Bale and a bunch of other motherfuckers. We're going to be doing another David O. Russell movie, probably my favorite of his movies, The Fighter, 2010. Solid flick. You got Melissa Leo winning for Best Supporting Actress, and you got Christian Bale winning his only Oscar that he's ever won. He's been nominated 4 times, and he's phenomenal in that movie, right? So he has a big. He's the main character in Amsterdam. Really, he's not really a supporting role in The Fighter. He's in a lot of that movie, and he's acting circles around everybody. I know we both love him, and I want to like really honor him, and so we're gonna do a top 5 Christian Bale performances next week. I'm super stoked. I think we'll have some similarities, but I think we also both have like our Bale stuff. Yeah. I'm super stoked for that. He's of this generation. He's one of the best guys, and it'll be cool to like shine a spotlight on him.
I do find it also kind of cool that this is our 3rd Best Supporting Actor win in a row. On this show.
I did. I like just thought of that while we were recording. I have The Fighter written down, and I was like, wait, come and get it. Walter Brennan, Viva Zapata, Anthony Quinn, and The Fighter, Christian Bale. Fuck me. And we just did The Town not that long ago. You know, like we love this category. We can't stay away from it. We will be doing a Best Picture showdown earlier than usual, though. So the week after The Fighter will be a Best Picture showdown. That'll be episode 124. Because Connor's going to be going to Germany, and I don't want him to miss out on that showdown. So it'll be quicker than usual, and it'll definitely be here before we know it. But we'll get out of here. I had a lot of fun on this one. This is random as hell. Viva Zapata. Had no idea I was going to bring up all these different rabbit holes of like, what is a celebrity? What am I doing with my life? You know, these existential, fucking topics. I always have fun with you, man. It's always a good time just chatting. This is the basis of our show, is that we're friends, and we always find a way to talk about shit. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at FILMGAZM. Check out our website, filmgazm.com, for new reviews. I think you probably have a Hocus Pocus 2 one up there.
I will soon for sure.
Yeah. So Connor's putting stuff up there nonstop. We're always having fun. Oscar award seasons, is starting to kind of get into swing. I'm excited to see like what movies get panned and what movies get that love and get that that word of mouth. I'm super excited. Keep watching movies, guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday.